What's up, Dirt Junkies? I just posted a video showing my ultralight budget loadout. And yeah, the base bait was just £7 for less than $500. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of that. But now I've got a confession to make. My pack actually weighed more than that. Some might even say a lot more. Today, I'll show you what backpackers, especially YouTubers such as myself, sneak into our packs after measuring base weight. We all do it. Some things don't count, some things probably should count, and some things just get left out. Let's break it down, and at the end of this video, I'll show you what my actual all-in pack weight is, because that really matters. But before we get into all that, let's have a quick refresher on what base weight is. Hold on, I wrote it down so I can get it right. Base weight is a meaningless number YouTubers use to brag about how light their packs are and get clicks on videos. Crap. Hold on, there's a second definition here. Base weight is your pack and everything in it except consumables. Typically water, food, and fuel. That's what I was going for. Now, the reason I believe base weight is actually a helpful number is that this is what will likely not change from trip to trip or even during your trip. Now, for some, base weight just doesn't matter when they're backpacking. They just don't care. Maybe they like the challenge of a heavy pack, maybe they prioritize comfort over weight, or maybe they're not doing high mileage where lightening the load can make a huge difference. For me, on most trips, the weight of my pack really does matter because I love doing long days with high mileage and just seeing how much ground I can cover. It's part of what I love about the way I backpack. But what I carry on those high mileage days isn't just my base weight. So let's talk about what else I'm carrying in this pack. We'll start with a few things that aren't technically base weight, but can add a lot of weight to your pack. First off, water. This may be the heaviest as well as the most important thing you carry. Typically, I drink anywhere from half a liter to a full liter every hour. And depending on the trip, I will carry anywhere from 1 liter all the way up to 5 or 6 liters, depending on how plentiful water sources are. Every liter of water adds 2.2 pounds or a kilogram to your pack. So on long water carry days, I've hauled as many as 13 pounds of water on my back, more than doubling my base weight on those trips. In this pack right now, I've only got capacity to carry just over 1.5 liters. Half a liter here, 1 liter there. So that will add about 3 pounds to my pack. Next up, food. Now, the type of food you take makes a big difference in how much it weighs. In fact, I did a video just about lightening your load with food and some light food options. If you want to check that video out, I'll put a link to it right up here. Admittedly, my diet has changed a bit since then, going for more heart-healthy options, but if you want to see some great lightweight backpacking options for heart-healthy, check this video out right here. As a quick example, if you pack in steaks to cook up on the fire, that will be a lot heavier than a dehydrated meal. If I'm conscious about weight while also making sure I get the nutrition I think I'll need, each day of food weighs anywhere from 1 pound to 1.5 pounds. The food in this food bag comes in at just over 3.7 pounds. So that's a lot of additional weight in the pack. You can see just between water and food, I've already doubled my base weight, which started at just under 7 pounds. So these things make a big difference. The other consumable that most people take is some sort of fuel. Now, this gets a little tricky because while the fuel doesn't count as base weight, the container it's in should. Admittedly, I left this out of my base weight video, not because I was trying to be sneaky, but just because I didn't think it through that deeply. A small empty canister like this one probably weighs about 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. And of course, with some fuel in it, it will weigh a bit more. There are a few other consumables as well, things like toilet paper, toothpaste, and the amount of weight these add is pretty minimal, but it's in the pack, so it will be part of the final all-in weigh-in we do at the end. And one item I mentioned in my last video that I was specifically leaving out of base weight are trekking poles. Now, they're not technically part of base weight. These are often left out because they are worn or carried in our hands, but they probably spend 75 to 80% of the time in my pack, either right here in this DIY trekking pole holder or even on the back in the water bottle holder. So I probably should include them in my base weight. My chosen poles are the Fizon Compact 3s. For 70 bucks, they are pretty light at just about 11 ounces for a pair, and I love that they are a twist locking system rather than the external clamps. It works much better with these trekking pole holders that I put on each of my packs. Now, let's talk about a few more things that probably should be included in base weight videos we see, including mine. First up, electronics. Two big ones that come to mind immediately are my cell phone and my satellite messenger. I don't even think about including my cell phone because it's basically just become part of me, which is a little embarrassing, but that will add a little bit of weight. The satellite messenger is another thing that I think a lot of us take but don't include in our base weight calculations. Maybe because it's small and we don't think about it, or maybe because it's expensive and it would blow the whole 7 pounds for less than $500 idea. This Garmin InReach Mini adds about 3.5 ounces to my pack weight and $300 to the budget. Ugh. I feel guilty for leaving this one out. I also think that some people just don't take one, and okay, maybe I'm trying to justify now and I'll just stop. Other electronics commonly taken are a power bank and charge cords. We'll be including those as well. Next, and I got called out in the comments for this one by Ted. Ted writes, "Sir," you don't have to call me sir, Ted. "While I appreciate the video and the effort you put into it," thank you, Ted, "you misrepresent your base weight as you did not include your camera and sound equipment and any power bank. That seems to be the norm among video hikers, but technically it should be included as it is not a consumable. Just my 2 bits. Seems like a nice arrangement for those who are willing to leave any comfort items behind." Thank you, Ted. And I have to admit that Ted is right. And I'll also say that I didn't include these things in my base weight because I don't think the typical backpacker is lugging 2 cameras, a tripod, a monopod, mics, and other stuff up the mountain with them. But, Ted, you got me. It is part of my base weight and should be included. While the purpose of the video was to share what a budget ultralight loadout could look like, they're in my base weight and I should include them. So, for the final weigh-in, we'll include it all. Unfortunately, I can't record with my camera and tripod, mic and receiver while weighing them, so just for good measure, I brought along this 2.5 pound plate, which is roughly the weight of those other items put together. This is for you, Ted. And by the way, if you're looking for a budget-friendly tripod that is still pretty light, this one from Amazon has been awesome. It weighs just over a pound, but handles my heavy DSLR setup easily and goes up to 54 inches for just 23 bucks. Awesome and cheap, my kind of gear. Another item that is often left out is weather gear. Puffy coat, raincoat, base layers, gloves, stuff like that. One of you also nailed me on this one in the comments. Mark said, "No rain gear, no thermal, no puffy." In other words, misleading. Now, Mark, I want you to know, I wasn't trying to mislead you or others. I don't think there's anything nefarious going on here. I just think that weather gear depends so much on each individual hiker and trip. That loadout didn't require any additional weather gear, but for the sake of the final weigh-in, I brought a rain jacket, a set of base layers, extra socks, and a pair of gloves just to include for good measure. There are a lot of summer trips where I don't bring those items because I don't anticipate needing them, and I'm trying to lighten my pack. And by the way, if you want to see a review of these excellent and affordable base layers from 32 Degrees, just $5 a piece, check this video out right here. If there are other things you think often get left out of base weight but should be included, drop them in the comments. Let's weigh the pack with everything in it, including Ted's 2.5 pound plate. 22.62 pounds. So triple the weight of my original base weight. Remember, life is better with some dirt in it.